Good morning, everybody. I thought I would try to do a full garden tour this morning and see if we can get through that in one video. But first I want to start off with showing you guys the front garden entrance at our neighborhood where the entrance gate is and show you how it's coming along. The rudbeckia is starting to bloom. And the salvia looks amazing. I think it's looking really great. The fountain grass has plumes on it. I don't see any agapanthus blooms coming up yet, but they should. I don't know, they should this year. They're first year in the ground, but I think that they will put off some blooms. Everything's looking good. I need to come up here and pull a few weeds out, looks like. But so far, so good. Happy with that. All right, we're gonna go down here and start in my woodland garden area. The rose bed first, the original rose bed that isn't doing so great, and I know it's because of the soil. It's very compact out here in this area, so we'll just go take a look at it. I have a couple of mood ring podocarpus right here. Blue point juniper, taking forever to put any growth on. These are two emerald arborvitaes that I transplanted from a different part of the garden that was not getting enough sunlight. They're probably still not getting enough sunlight here, and the ground is crappy, but they eventually will put some growth on. This is the shade garden under this laurel oak, and under here I have several different varieties of ferns, hostas, caladiums, some canna lilies over there. And the caladiums take literally forever to come back out of the ground. There's some little shoots here, coming up there, there. They're all over in here. They just literally take infinity to pop out of the ground. There's an American beautyberry. Oops, sorry. Some elephant ears right there. Those get not massive, but they get about 1.5 feet to 2 feet tall. There's some coleus here, and some angara that really doesn't fit in this bed anymore. The style of this bed, they don't really fit, but I've just leave them. And then I have some orange daylilies. Those are called triple orange, I think, or also known as a ditch lily. But this bed is pretty new. It's only about a year old, so it's coming along slowly. And my Peggy Martin is pretty much done blooming. They bloom one time a year. And all of these roses out here, they're just super duper slow at putting any actual growth on. So what I did back in maybe January, I dug up almost every single one of these roses, because when I first planted them, I didn't plant them deep enough. I had like the graft sticking way out of the ground, because most of these are grafted. And so I went ahead and just pulled them all up and replanted them deeper, which probably put them into shock. They were mostly dormant, but it may have shocked them. So I'm not sure how long it will take for them to recuperate from that, but some of them have already bloomed and some are putting on new blooms. And then the August Beauty gardenias that I bought and put out here a couple of months back, they're putting on a lot of growth already and blooming. So I put them out here to match these two that I planted a couple of years ago. And these, I don't know if you know what gardenias smell like, but they are amazing. I have several different varieties in my gardens. Oh, I also bought this tree. This is called a red dragon, Japanese maple. And just put this in the ground, I don't know, maybe 6-8 weeks ago. Very pretty leaf. Kind of similar to a Tamukiyama, but a very different structure. Very different branching structure. So I think that looks really pretty in that corner. The Tropicana blooming. And that one over there is also a Tropicana, but it's probably an older bloom. That's why it's a different shade of orange. You have a Paradise Rose blooming. It's just about done. Abraham Darby, I'm waiting for that to open up. It's got a bud on it. This one actually looks the best out of all of these roses out here. Is my David Austin rose, which is crazy because a nursery told me that they don't sell David Austin down here because they don't do well. But that one is my best performing looking rose at the moment. I have some gladiolas. They're purple. I don't recall the exact name, but it's purple something. And some agapanthus out here, Forever Goldie arborvitae. That is a coral knockout rose that I transplanted from a shadier spot, so it gets a little bit more afternoon sun right there. And it does bloom in the shade. It was blooming in deep shade last year. My Lady Banks rose is putting on some good growth, and it only had about 3 blossoms this year. And it's only been in the ground for a year, so I wasn't expecting it to get, to have a lot of buds on it this year. Agapanthus is getting ready to open. This I just planted about a week ago. It's called a Maid of Orleans, Arabian Jasmine. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, it's an Arabian Jasmine. And it has really pretty little flowers on it. Well, there's a little remnant of one right here. And they smell like a jasmine. A little bit different, but they smell like a jasmine. It's really neat. Let's walk this way. My bridal wreath spireas, both of these, finished blooming. This is a Compton's Dwarf Japanese maple. I've had that in that container for, I think, a year and a half now. Yeah, about a year and a half. Need to prune back my Jazz Hands Mini Loropetalum. It's getting in the walkway now. Taking forever, but it's finally getting some growth on it as well. And this I just purchased. It's called an Esperanza. It's a tropical, it said zone 9, I think, through 11 maybe, or even deeper than that. But it has some really pretty flowers. I don't know if it'll make it through the winter out here. I guess we will see. It needs full sun, and it's not in full sun. It probably gets about 4 hours right there. But I wanted to fill that spot out with something bright, and I think that looks really good there. Let's see, I've got Scent Amazing. The gardenias right here in bloom. Really cute little flowers. I have a few more Scent Amazing scattered around. See what else is in bloom out here. This is another August Beauty gardenia. And those are 2 peach Dalmatian foxglove that I planted from seed last spring, and they're finally getting ready to bloom. they're not very, I guess the plant size isn't very big. I would have expected better growth, but possibly where it's at in this pretty deep shade right here. It gets a little bit of dappled sun, but not much. As these are shade-loving plants over here. See, my Nico Blue hydrangea is putting on some really pretty flowers. And I don't have to amend the soil because it's already naturally, I guess, acidic out here. So they've been blue every time they've bloomed out here. And it's putting on a lot of good growth. Look, this is the best it's looked since I planted it. And right next to it is a pop star, I think that's what it's called. And I've got some branch dieback. It looked a lot better last year, but I'm hoping it'll come back from whatever has caused it to die back. My pump's not running at the moment because it's a solar pump, so my water's not running. And it's very cloudy out today. My sweetheart caladiums look so pretty. Mixed in with a little, I think that's called Miss Muffet, the speckled one. And then some daylilies. A different type of daylily down here. I don't recall the names of all of these. I've had them, I've labeled them in previous videos. I can't keep up with all of these daylilies that I have. HF Young clematis, it's actually had a lot of growth on it. Lots of blossoms, very pretty in that spot. Doesn't get a ton of sun, but I think it likes where it's at. My hydrangea, it's not Limelight, it's Limelight Prime, that's what it is. All the branches are still alive, they're green. It's just taking forever to open up any buds on those branches in the back. I don't know why it's doing that. So I guess eventually it'd probably decide to open around August. Let's go back and look at my Earth Angel Parfuma. The roses are super tiny right now on here. It bloomed earlier on this lower growth that I had pruned back, and the roses were maybe twice as the size of that, so I don't know why they're so tiny right now. My Saint Tropez, I just don't have a lot of blossoms out here at the moment to look at. Put some salvia in here. I had some milkweed in here, and I don't see any growth on the milkweed, so I'm probably not going to put milkweed back in there. It was the tropical kind. And I put some Angelonia in. And some echinacea, purple echinacea right here. One's getting ready to open. And right here is a whole slew of, they were Louisiana iris, which is purple, but they bloomed out a yellow color this year, which is extremely odd. So I looked it up, and I read that if you have the invasive species anywhere in the vicinity, which is the yellow iris, I don't remember the name of it, it will literally pollinate your Louisiana iris, and you lose your Louisiana iris basically. I don't really understand the concept, but they become the invasive species. So I pulled all of the remnants of the flower bud when they were done. I pulled them all off and threw them away because I didn't want the seeds to break open or to be repollinated. That's what I was told. I was told to break off the seed pods. So we'll see. I don't know. I do have some Louisiana iris over here in this little bed. So I guess next year if they bloom open yellow, then I'll know that I no longer have any Louisiana iris out here. I need to cut back my eastern redbud. The lower branches are kind of draping over the bed right there. blocking the sun from these irises that they need full sun. And I have some Crazy Love dahlias that I planted from tubers. And these are red hot poker nephophias. I only had one bloom this year. Then I've planted some color spectacle dahlias right down here. Those are orange, putting on some good growth. This is a Monarda. I don't remember the name of it. It's a kind of a hot pink color Monarda. I planted that from seed 2 years ago. So this is its third year coming up. And my Aphrodite Althea, Rose of Sharon, is putting a lot of buds. Hasn't bloomed yet, but lots and lots and lots of buds all over it. It's a beautiful bloom on that too. And right here, I purchased this from Tractor Supply about 2 months ago when it was dormant. And it's called Sweet Starlight Hydrangea. And all of this branch over here is still green. So I've done the scratch test on it. So it's just taking forever to put buds on those branches as well. Let's go back through here. I'm hoping this isn't going to be a super long video because I'm only made it to the woodland garden. I have another Nico Blue hydrangea right here. And that is a iceberg rose that is now not getting really any sun at all because my trees up here have outgrown the space. Well, they have not grown the space, but they are completely shielding the sun from this area. So I'm probably going to move that iceberg rose. And under this tree, I have lots of caladiums coming up. That is a rhododendron, a dwarf one. I don't remember the name. I'll have to look it up. I have all my tags. Most of my tags I keep. But the rhododendron already bloomed. Rhododendron. I didn't lose these, but we had that snow that we had, these died back all the way to the ground. And that one was 3 times the size of this one, and it's just taking forever to put on new growth. But that sun really did, that snow really did major damage to them. I even had them covered with some fabric tablecloth that had the felt underneath of it and blankets, but it didn't completely save them. And these are August fern. They're getting quite tall. They are to the middle of my thigh. I just love these fern. They're so pretty. We've got a hydrangea back here, heartthrob. It's going to put on some blooms. We'll go around that side as well. I have some apricot chiffon poppies planted right there that I grew from seed. And it's the first time I've ever grown poppies, so we'll see how they do. And this bed is a little bit bare because it's caladiums mostly. They are slowly coming up. And this is it's called Brazilian orchid. It is an iris, a tropical iris. And it already had blooms on it, several of them, but it's putting on more buds again. But every time it flushes after that first flush, they're super tiny. So I'll put a picture up of, if I can find it in my album, of what it looked like when I first bought it. It was absolutely gorgeous, and that's what sold me. And more caladiums coming up. That is Triceratops, I think, like a lily, a toad lily maybe. I don't remember exactly. Blue Wonder Triceratops. I don't exactly remember what type it is, but it likes watery, shady areas. Wet, shady areas. I have an Annabelle hydrangea. Oh, it's got some blooms coming up. Yay! I didn't know if it was going to bloom this year. I put this in the ground early summer, I think. My trellis my arbor is looking wonderful. Full of jasmine. This is star jasmine. Jasmine's pretty much at its end of its peak. It was very, very full about 2 weeks ago, but it still has some flowers on it, and it smells amazing. You can't even really see the arbor anymore. It's completely covered. My Temukiyama Japanese maple looks really good. And the white common, I think it's called common yarrow, is growing into the branches, which I think looks really cool. And these, I think, are endless summer hydrangeas. I bought these last year on clearance at a local nursery. They look really good. These are the only type of endless summer hydrangeas that I have. I do have Let's Dance Skyview, and I'm not sure if that's I think that's a similar hydrangea. So this bed is slowly coming along. Oh, I did plant some columbine. Those are, no, that's not the right label. I actually put seeds in the ground and I didn't have any of them come back, but these are the Barlow Girl columbine that I grew from seed. And my forest pansy looks really pretty. I lost my other forest pansy. It had some type of disease on it, but this looks really nice. I love this purple tree. I love purple trees. Orange rocket barberry's looking really pretty. I've got too many things to name everything. It would take me 4 hours to go through all of my stuff and name everything. I did purchase these at a local nursery. Thought they were really cool looking. It's called Kong Mosaic. Really pretty, unique coloring. And then this one as well. And it is called Under the Sea Barracuda Coleus. My other coleus I had out here, I had Campfire. I charged up Campfire, and that one didn't come back. And then I had another one that didn't come back as well. So I need to find some more coleus, because I think it looks really pretty when I've got coleus out here. Caladiums. These are, I think, stained glass. I want to say these are stained glass or August moon or something like that. Oh, my star jasmine that I planted on each side of this door was supposed to grow over my door, and it is growing up the tree, all the way up the tree. It is about 25 feet up there and blooming. not where I wanted it. So yeah, I guess I didn't get out here and train it. I tried to train it over there. I even put nails on this door at the top to try to train it over, and it decided it wanted to do its own thing. And this one's not getting near enough sun, so it's just not really putting on much growth at all. And so right here I have 4 Fairy Trail Bride hydrangeas that have been in the ground 2 years. This is going to be its 3rd year, and they are just not putting on any growth. But I love these. I think they're going to be really pretty if they ever do reach their full height, which I think it's 3 to 4 feet. So I'm going to go ahead and add this clip in here. I came out here to check on these and see why they're not growing very fast. And they're very heavily mulched naturally from pine straw that falls and tree leaves. And I pulled all that back to find that the roots, the soil there's a good inch missing, maybe more. So I don't know what causes this, but there's a good inch or so of the soil. It's completely missing around the entire root system on every single one of these. So the roots are exposed underneath here. And all of them, not quite sure how this happens, But I am going to go and get some soil from my compost area and top these back off. And this area, it's just the edge of my raised bed area, and there was nothing under there, so I just planted some things to kind of brighten up that spot. Sunshine ligustrum back there and a camellia. I think it's called August Perfection. And then a lemon burst arborvitae. Down here I have some gladiolas that I purchased from Dollar General. They were like $2 a bag. And so I went ahead and bought them and just stuck them in there. And look at that. They are doing amazing. Crazy. And there's some blazing star liatris in the ground as well. This bed has various things. My neighbor brought me some little daisy seedlings that they grew. So I've got this little front section with some daisies. And this section right here to about right here, I planted some bachelor button. And then in this backside, I have globe, blue something globe thistle. I don't remember what it's called, blue something. And so waiting for the thistle to germinate. I haven't really seen any of that come up yet. There's another Scent Amazing gardenia. This is a Pearl Glam Beauty Berry that has not done well at all. So I'm hoping now that it looks like it's putting on good growth, it's going to do okay this year. And then I have some, I'm drawing a blank, Crocosmia. I don't remember a different one, but I actually think that this one's prettier than the red one. And let's go around this side. My hollyhock that I planted last year, so this has been a full year, is putting on some buds. I will finally get to see it bloom. These are a mix, Ford Hook Giants, I think is what they are. And then down here, they're already getting, I guess they suffer from rust, but these are some that I germinated. And these are double chiffon, I think is the name of them. So I have several double chiffon hollyhocks. They're not going to do anything this year, obviously. If it took those a full year to reach blooming. And then I have 2 different varieties of cosmos in here that I planted by seed. And then some peach blanket flowers. I purchased these at a local nursery. I had a cranberry hibiscus in here last year, and I didn't want to do that again because it was massive. It took up this whole area. And I planted some rudbeckias down here, and it does flood really bad right here when we have heavy rain, so hopefully they do good. They've actually doubled in size, so I think they're doing okay. I have 2 strawberry plants in here, and I already had 1 strawberry, and it was really tasty. These are planted from seed. Drawing a blank, I don't remember. I'll just pop the name on the screen. These are zinnias that seeded themselves in different sections of that bed. So when I put all the soil in these beds, I transplanted them out and stuck them in here. And look at them doing really good. I guess they took transplant very well. This bed has some dirt. These came up on their own from last year. The big ones. All these big ones came up from last year. I did take these cosmos out of that bed as well, because this whole end of that bed had these cosmos in it, and I stuck them back here because they were pretty big already, and I didn't want to just toss them, and they're already blooming. And these are Mexican sunflowers, Tithonia, that reseeded from last year. And then I have an Asian, I'm losing words, can't remember which one that is. It's an Asian something. So we have all these little ones are zinnias as well. Oklahoma salmon, I think, are the front ones, and then Oklahoma white in the back. Back here I have some bleeding heart, love lies bleeding, amaranth. Those I grew from seed as well, and it looks like something's chewing on the leaves. Those are supposed to get like maybe 5 feet tall. And then in the whole middle where you see absolutely nothing, I have tried seeding it twice with some Verbena bonariensis. Verbena bonariensis. Why is that so hard for me to say right now? But nothing is coming up. So I may try to plant some in containers and just see if I can get it to germinate that way. I did see that it needs to be completely darkened out, so maybe that's why it's not. So maybe I can come out here and put some cardboard over it and see if it'll germinate. And then I have some pink basket flowers that I grew from seed as well. So every one of them came back up except for one. Take a look at it from here. My cascading dianthus. That's been in there for 3 full years, probably the 4th year this year. Looks really good, really good. All right, let's move over here to this section. These are some Mexican petunias that I transplanted from my woodland garden. They were in pretty much no sunlight and they were never blooming out there, so I moved them here and they are multiplying really well. Very pretty. Aussie Queen hibiscus in here with some volunteer petunias because I didn't put that in there. They must have been in the soil I used. And then I have Jetstream hydrangeas. This one looks really good. This one's grown quite a bit this season. It's very, very pretty. This variety can handle sun. And I have various different things in here. Some rudbeckia down here. Some yellow. I don't remember the exact name of this one. Black-eyed Susan. Some yarrow. That is a lantana, a shrub form lantana. And then I have a couple dahlias I grew from root. What's the name of that one? Pardon Me. Yeah, Pardon Me Daylily. It's a red one. Then I have some more purple echinacea. Some serendipity alliums that have never bloomed. That's like the 3rd year now and no blooms. And then some more yarrow. I think that's called Love Parade. It's like a lavender color. This is a really pretty petunia I found at a local nursery. I think it's called Butterflies and something. I don't remember. It was a cute name. So I was like, I have to get that because of the name. And this area, I decided to go ahead and put some little bricks down for a little pathway. And I didn't do like a ton of work on it. I just kind of dug out the ground area, placed them down, and so they were kind of level, and just a little walking path to kind of, you know, have a way out to that side of the yard. My neighbor brought me some candelabra plants. These have like yellow flowers on them. He brought me several. So I've just spaced them in different areas. They get, I don't know, maybe 5 feet tall. So I've got one on each side, and I've got some out there on the very edges. We'll see how they do. I actually planted some a couple years ago, and they in the hard soil, and they did good. They should do good here too. I was hoping to catch some of these with more blooms on it. It's like little butterflies. I don't remember the name. These, if I don't say the names very often, and it's a new plant for me, I have a very hard time remembering what it is. I know it starts with a C. I just can't remember what it is. Anyways, I just think this is a very pretty spot for this. And there's a little hydrangea there. I think that one's called Let's Dance Aruba. or less dance can do. I had one of each and I lost one, so I don't remember which one was which. And my limelight hydrangeas are putting on some growth. There's some, I think those are crazy daisies that I planted last spring that I germinated. There's another, this is called Purple Ghost, Japanese maple. It's a river birch. I think that's why this hydrangea is a little bit smaller than this one, is because river birch are water hogs, and I have to try to remember to water this more frequently. And then these are autumn fire sedum, Blue Point juniper. We had the basketball goal sitting right here in front of this for the longest time, and it got knocked down so many times from our heavy winds that we get during storms. So it finally broke the containing part that holds the water. So it's out there. It's rest in peace right now. I planted some blazing star liatris, and then there's a white one as well. And I'm thinking the short ones that haven't put on flower stalks are the white ones. And this is a black smoke bush that I've moved over here. It was over there in the back patio bed where we are now. I'm going to put the pavilion. I may put some hostas in this area. This area is very rooty because of this crepe myrtle. They have massive root systems, and the root systems come way out here. So, and when you plant something and you cut a crepe myrtle root, you get wonderful little sprouts that come up everywhere like this. They pop up every single where, and then when you try to pull them out, see, there's some more. When you try to pull them out, you can't get the whole root system because they're coming off of the root that you cut. And then you just get more wonderful crepe myrtle volunteers, I guess, everywhere. So it's like you can never get rid of them. That's why it's difficult to plant under a crepe myrtle. Japanese cedar is starting to really bush out. I think that's very pretty. I love that tree. I guess it's a tree. It's a shrubby tree. It reaches, I think, 5 to 8 feet tall by 5 wide. And then I have some wicked hot coleus back here. Look how beautiful that highlights that corner. I have an echinacea here. It's not the purple. It's a green and pink. Don't remember the name. I have some white astilbe, white diamond astilbe getting ready to bloom. And my diamond spire row back there is in about the middle of their cycle. It was extremely full a week ago, and they smell wonderful too. And then some Happy Returns daylilies blooming. And these are stained glass hosta. My agapanthus, I think this one is, well, I thought this was my queen mum, but it looks like it has some purple in it. So I don't know if that's the queen mum or not. But I've got 3 agapanthus in here. And some foxglove those are white Camelot foxglove. Looks like they might bloom this year. And some beautiful blue and white columbine. And some red and white columbine. My yarrow looks really pretty. And then that one, I'm not sure, but I think it's called a Sem's Beauty hydrangea. It's an oak leaf. So this one needs more shade, but it does get morning sun, but apparently not too much because it's putting on a lot of growth. And spider's web fatsia back there and over there. I have a peony here that's brand new. I just put that in the ground this spring. And I don't know if it's a Sarah Bernhardt or a Margaret Truman, but I'm hoping that it's a good spot for it because I don't have any peonies that have ever bloomed here. I mean, I've never really planted them. Last year I planted a couple, but they never did anything. So I think I had them in really bad spots. This corner's looking pretty. And the plum peacock petunias look really, really, really pretty. Am I rocking the blue suede? I guess rocking the blue suede shoes or blue suede shoes? I don't remember. One of those. Salvia. I moved from my woodland garden out here. It needed more sun and more space, and it looks wonderful. And I think these are pineapple, something pineapple coleus. They're proven winners. They're doing really good. I have a weed in there I need to pull out. And another orange rocket barberry there and there. These were labeled 4 feet tall by 1 to 2 feet wide, and I guess it would be if it didn't have weeping branches, but it's kind of weeping. But I guess that's okay because it has the room to weep if it wants. So I think it's really pretty. The color contrast right here is really pretty, and the color contrast right here too. And I'd pruned back my variegated jazz hands, loropetalum, about a week ago, so that looks better. My Carolina jessamine vine, it only blooms once a year, and it already bloomed, but I need to train this. It's starting to get back up into my viburnum, so I need to train it because I want it to go over the top of this. My white flame salvia looks wonderful. The bumblebees probably love this plant more than anything in my garden. The Easter lily has quadrupled in size. And I planted some scabiosa down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. Because everything I've planted in that area in the last 2 years has died. So I'm hoping that these do okay. My roses, this is, if I can recall, every time I want to go and say a name of something I forget. Orange something. And then I have one down here that I just planted. I'm not getting enough sun. I can see it's putting on some growth, and it did have a flower. It's called Lavender Crush, but I guess it'll eventually put some growth on, and then it'll get enough sun when it reaches that height. This one has not put any buds on yet. Cecil Brunner, but it's putting on a pretty good amount of growth. So it's doing good. And I have lots of Liatris down here. This was all from 2 years ago. And then I've got back here that I just planted this maybe 2 months ago. And then my, I think this is called a double Snow White Delight, or just Snow White Delight hibiscus coming back. And then my Jubilee gardenias that I transplanted over here, putting on buds. I finally got the paper down for the outline edge of what's going to be our pavilion, which I am now standing in. So we've got to do the groundwork, and we've got to dig all this out, this area, and put some sand base in here. I'm just trying to kill off the grass that's out here. So this whole section in here, we've already bought our bricks for the floor. And while I'm right here, I'm going to show you, this is a willow. I don't remember what the name of the willow is, but I think it gets about 8 feet tall or 8 feet wide. It might be 8 feet tall by, 8 feet wide by 12 feet tall, but it's very pretty. I love the color on this. with a variegation. It's very, very pretty. And from the house, when you're looking out, it's perfect spot for it because it kind of brightens up. It just brightens up this whole area. And then while I'm over here, I'll show you my sunflower bed.